My sad confession is that I do wonder how she wields her power.
You're watching anything and looking for where do I see myself? Where do I not see myself?
Speaking about women this way in the media is bad for all of us.
This is Beyonce. It's not like some niche artist that I found.
Do not invite me to a holiday event where it's okay to wear jeans.
Hey, welcome back. This is Not For Everyone. I'm Jess, your lover, and I'm here with Caroline, your hater. It's a podcast hosted by a hater and a lover. And I'm going to put on my hater hat for a second, just a second,
Mm.
because I have a complaint. And I think it's like very topical in this year of our Lord 2025, which is that I would like to just once sign a petition or donate to a cause and never hear about it again. I don't want them to text me. I don't want them to email me. I guess I kind of want to know what happens to the cause, like, but I'll hear about that in the news. I don't want correspondence from the body that I donated to or signed on to ever
Yeah.
again.
I don't want a pen pal for giving you money. I'm not buying a pen pal.
This is very transactional. I felt guilty and felt that I needed to do something. And so here I am. I'm happy to do it. Thank you. I'll write it off on my taxes. It's not the reason I'm doing it. It just helps. And I never want to hear from them again. I get all these
Delete my
texts.
number. Delete my
Delete my number.
number.
I get all these texts all day long that are like, "We're doing this now, Jess. Jess, we're now working on this next thing." And I'm like, "I that's not the thing. I signed up for the other thing. That's not
Can't
I'm
you
out now."
unsubscribe? Can't you unsubscribe your
I
texts?
send stop to every single one of those texts and they
That's so
have my
funny.
data like I'm in the system,
Yeah.
you know?
I got targeted so fucking bad because with political stuff
Yeah.
because I used to live in Ohio and I was a Democrat registered in Ohio.
Oh, that's
And
big.
so I don't know if there was anyone targeted more in the country for political stuff when they're like, trying to push a swing state. And so yeah, through like the past two elections, they've just kept me on lists from Ohio. And I all the political texts, they always say at the end, text stop to end, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
that what it
they
always
do.
says? But I thought the stop to end meant like text this to stop Trump. And I was like,
Yeah.
I just don't even want to be on your list right now. Like I'm doing my part as as a Democrat. Like I don't like want to text. I don't even know where these fucking numbers are coming from. What does this even fucking do? And it's like Trump's gonna light your house down on fire tomorrow if you. And I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I don't like him
Stop, stop,
either.
stop, stop, stop.
Stop like that. So I would never respond stop to end because I thought stop to end was me participating as opposed to me getting off the list. And it took me like 3 years
Oh my God.
to figure
I
out
get
that
it
I could
though.
stop those texts. And I still get some, but I was getting like 20 political texts a week, maybe for like many years.
That's kind
And I
of
was
where
like,
I'm
there's
at
no
right
way
now.
out.
Even
Yeah.
though I have sent stop every single time, but it's true, like it'll be like end world hunger, stop to end. Like, oh, okay, so
Where's this
so
going? Where's this
stop.
text going? Is it going to the hungry people?
Right.
I know.
Yeah,
End world
I
hunger. Stop to
stop
end.
to end. Stop. I want to
You're like,
stop it.
you're like, listen, I hate world hunger, but I do also hate texting.
Right,
This is
both. Can we
hard
do
for
both?
me. This is hard for me.
Yeah, I just think the texts have gone out of control. Also, spam texts. I've been getting way more spam texts that are like, your
Hey,
package was delivered, and then it does this link, and then I
yeah.
click the link because I'm not paying attention. I fall for a lot of those. I've
Oh
gotten better,
no,
but I
Jessica.
really do fall for a lot. I order a lot of packages. I'm always trying to track them. It's helpful to get a text like that if it's the truth, which it is only
No, is it
half the
ever?
time.
I feel like none of my tracking comes through text. I just don't. I'm just like I'm not tracking stuff. If a package,
Wow.
if something I ordered gets lost and I don't even realize it, that's on me. I feel like. Like then I guess I
I
didn't want it that bad.
I guess that's true, but I track it because I'm so excited to get it. Or
Yeah.
oftentimes I'll be ordering something and it's like for a certain event or for a certain trip or whatever, so I need it to get here in time. So I'm tracking
Yeah.
it to make sure that it's on track.
She's a tracker. She's a
I'm
tracker.
definitely like a dopamine shopper
Tracker. Yeah,
online
yeah, yeah.
and
I
dopamine
know.
tracker. Yeah,
I
I'm trying
relate.
to
I know I
stop.
relate. I do
I'm trying to
relate.
stop. I've been
I'm
getting better
trying to
at it.
stop.
I feel like I spent significantly less in January than I usually do, and I'm trying to keep it up. It's like loosely my New Year's goal to be more mindful of my spending,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not making it a big deal in case I fail, you know, like it's not a
Okay.
resolution. It's just like a
It's not a big deal.
loose aspiration that's not a big deal. So maybe I should stop talking about it.
You know, a revelation I had, this isn't a revelation, but I think it needs to be normalized. And I
Mm.
hate when people say normalize. I hate it.
Oh my
But
gosh, but it's
I'm,
just the truth a lot of the
but
time.
sometimes it's just the truth. It needs to be
Hmm.
normalized. I think it needs to be normalized, or we all need to be reminded. You and I are going to a wedding this weekend. We're going to see each
Hmm.
other in person. Jess and I are going
We
to a
need
wedding
to be
this weekend.
reminded that
And that's what
Caroline
we
and
need to be
Jess are going to
reminded.
be together.
And I was like, oh, I have to get a dress for the wedding. Like, I don't have any, first of all, I don't have a lot of formal dresses. And the like two that I have, I wore to weddings this year. And then I was
Right.
like, why the fuck can't I wear the same formal dress to a wedding that will have none of the same people? And even if it
Correct.
did have the same people, what's the big deal? Like, it literally doesn't matter. I'm gonna spend $200-300 on a new dress for one night for fucking why? I mean, it is fun. Like, of
Yeah.
course, it's fun to me to get a new nice dress to everybody, but I also have been working on my spending and particularly working on buying clothes. I have this like 6 items a season rule where I can buy six in
Yeah.
the winter and I can buy six in
I
the
was
spring.
wondering if you were sticking with it, if that's been
Pretty
successful so far.
well, pretty
Yeah.
well. I think I'm probably at like 7, but it's
Not
like
bad.
a big improvement. And so I was like, well, I wonder, I was like arguing with myself and I was like, well, I wonder if I can like make an allowance for like special event
Yeah.
outfits because
Totally.
like if I don't have something, then I need to get something, but I do have something. And I just for some reason was like so resistant to wearing the same dress that I bought new for a wedding in fucking November.
Mm.
And why can't so I'm wearing the same dress and it
That's a
was
great
like
dress. I know the
it
dress
was
you're
a
talking about.
you know the dress. I love
I
you.
can picture it from your Instagram. Yeah.
But it's a weirdly stupid hurdle that I do. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm the only one who does that. That you're like, oh,
No,
but the
you're not.
opportunity for a new dress. And you know what? When I like it is fun to get gussied up, but I'll still be gussied up. And I do get excited about outfits, but also I don't find that having the newest most exciting outfit at a wedding makes my experience of the wedding necessarily
Hmm.
better. If you have nothing to wear and you're dressed like trash and you feel out of place and you don't feel good, that makes the wedding worse. But having like topping everybody else, like beating everybody else with your outfit, like it doesn't make the event better. Like what's that
Yeah.
about? Just wear the same dress.
Yeah, and if you own the dress and have worn it before and enjoyed wearing it before, it's actually more likelihood that you're going to have a good time in it again because it's probably something you're comfortable in that fits you well that
I
you
loved
decided
it.
flatters you because you bought it, you know, so like it already checks all the boxes. But I totally relate to this. I mean, I definitely have that impulse of like not wanting to be an outfit repeater. Not in, I mean, I wear the same sweatsuit every day, so
That's
let's
what I know.
relax.
I wear
But
the
like,
same outfit every time I see my
right?
friends. Why can I suddenly not be seen in the same formal dress
I
twice a
know.
year?
But on special occasions, I guess it does just feel like, oh, this is my chance to buy something, like to put a special effort into it. It's the
Yeah.
reason that I love renting my clothes, and I've talked so much about Newly because I will just like know for that month that what I have coming up, if it's like Valentine's Day or Christmas, or if there's a wedding or a birthday or something, and I'll order rental stuff that like I'll just wear for that month for that event and then, you know, return it. I spent a fraction of what I would have spent if I purchased it
Mm-hmm.
new. And like that works really well for me. So for this wedding that we're going to, I ordered 6 rental dresses to choose from. All 6 items in a rental box is $100 on Newly. So I spent a hundred
Wow.
dollars for 6 options. I
She
have the
loves
one that I'm gonna
Newly.
wear. I really like the other ones. I might wear one of the other ones for like the night before or something. And then like boom, at least I spent less than I would have if I bought a new dress. I still
Yeah, that's great.
obviously have choices in my closet that I could have just worn, but I'm not there yet. I'm on the
I think
like
it's fine. I don't think whatever.
downgrading. Yeah.
Everybody has their own system.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own system. Yeah, I do like that. I think that's great.
I also think,
So silly. I think it's fun to buy. Like, it's rare that we dress formally,
yeah,
really.
that's why.
You know, American culture is like so casual, and I do miss that. I wore that same wedding dress. I wore it to film a YouTube video the other day because I was just like, the fuck am I doing with this formal dress? Like, I'm gonna wear it to
Yeah.
work. I'm gonna wear it to work. I don't care. Like, I need to
To
use
work.
this.
Yeah. To work at filming in your apartment, which is work,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah, I know. It is that. The thing I've realized too is like if I'm trying to cut back on that type of spending, but I still want it to feel special, like what if I
There's an
think
in
of a really
between.
cute way to do my hair that I don't
Yeah.
usually do, like or get little like barrettes or something, like just something that's like a way smaller cost for a different part of the outfit or for a different
Mm-hmm.
part of my look. Get a new lipstick, like something smaller that still makes it feel fun. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch a YouTube video and do my hair in a way that I haven't before, or I'm gonna do a bold lip. I haven't done that before. Like, that's still a way to make it feel like you're getting gussied up. And because I agree, like, that's such a fun thing that I feel like was sold to us when we were younger that like
Mm-hmm.
when you're in your 30s, you'll go out with your girlfriends and you'll
Yeah.
dress up in like ball gowns and heels for just a dinner. And obviously that doesn't happen and I don't really want it to happen, but I do get excited for like the
Sometimes.
few times that I get to
Totally.
dress up. Yeah.
I own like one pair of heels because I'm like, where am I even wearing heels?
Yeah.
And that brings me to one of my complaints about like there are some events where it's appropriate and great to be formal, and I'm fucking sick of casualizing it. I do not want to go to a single event in the Christmas season at Christmas time. I'm going to say for 40 days before and 12 days after. Do not invite me to a holiday event where it's okay to wear jeans.
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
want to
I
come.
totally agree with you.
It is the one time of year we can all agree,
I
let's
totally
just
agree.
all wear sequins and all be fancy and bow ties
Yep.
and nothing less than that. Don't fucking invite me to a casual Christmas party. I'm tired of it.
I couldn't agree more. Ryan and I had a Christmas party this year, and we were probably the most dressed up of anyone at our party,
Amazing.
which usually like I feel like my mom once taught me a long time ago, like, oh, when you're hosting, it's actually nice to be a little more casual. I don't know, some made up rule that she came up with. She also is a very like dolled up and dressed up person, so her version of casual is not most people's version of
I know
casual.
you've talked about her great tits on here a lot.
She's got them.
I just, I
She's
always,
got the rack.
I never clocked her tits when as a child. I guess I
You
was
probably
focusing on the
mostly
wrong
saw her
things.
at like school functions, but they were.
I
I'll
never
send
saw
you
any
some
of her low
pics.
cuts. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pics of your mom at Christmas. Here's some pics of my mom
Yeah.
at Christmas.
Yeah.
Tits
Um,
out. Motorboat
but we had
Central.
this Christmas party and Ryan was wearing like this new suit he got that looks great. I was wearing like a dress and heels. I felt so festive. Everybody else was like on a range of festivity and
No,
dressed
you're kicked
upness.
out. You're kicked
But
out.
I was trying to set a tone and I did put in the invite like festive attire, which to me doesn't mean like bells on your
I was
sweater.
gonna say no jingle bells on your fucking
Yeah, on
jeans.
your titties. It means like
Your mom's showing
fucking
up with
dress to
jingle
the
bell
nines.
nipple
It's
rings.
Christmas. Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
we only
so
do it
with
one.
you.
Like I'm don't they like don't. Why does anyone wear heels if you're having a casual Christmas party? Like we can't wear them that much.
No,
I don't
there
even
are
like
very few
heels.
times to wear heels. I don't either, but I buy them because I convince myself I'm gonna be a girl that
I
wears like
love
heels
them.
and jeans, but I
I
don't.
love shoes. I've always loved shoes, but I really don't buy heels that much anymore. I
Yeah.
again debated buying some heels for this wedding, so I was like, I don't have any. I can really justify this, and shoes aren't really clothes, so that doesn't even count.
Right.
And I didn't do it. I just ran out of
Good
time.
job. You're gonna
No,
look
it
great.
was no kudos to me. I just was
So
disorganized.
what shoes? So do you have shoes? You have shoes. You're gonna be
I
fine.
do have shoes. I do have shoes. I have one pair of shoes which I fucking love.
There you
I
go.
bought them secondhand, and they are like maybe probably like a faux leather I assume, but they're like light purple, and they're this really, really nice brand that I
Ooh.
love called By Far, and they make some of my favorite purses. And then there are these like really cute, like purple leather open toe heel shoes, which like they don't really sound like they make sense, but I'm really proud of them, and I thrifted them.
What shade of purple are they?
Lavender.
Okay, cute. I love
Yeah, they're cute.
lavender.
Black dress, lavender toes.
Okay. I'm going
Okay.
black dress, black shoes, but then I'm wearing like a fur shawl over my
Ooh.
dress. I'm
Oh, I
gonna look
did.
very.
I ordered a shawl. I ordered a
Did
shrug. I'll say
you?
I ordered a shrug. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because
I
it's
haven't
because it's
received it though
winter
because I don't
wedding.
track my packages. I don't know where
You
it
have
is.
to. There you
And
go.
I'm leaving for the wedding in one day.
Well, I have all my stuffs because I've been tracking.
Bitch, because
So,
I've been tracking. Can I say this though? When you talked about like, okay, if you're gonna like, rewear an outfit you've already worn, and then you might focus more on like doing your hair different or like doing something
right.
fun with your clips or whatever. That is the exact takeaway I've found from my wardrobe project, which I don't know if I talked about it on here. So if you don't watch my podcast, it was just literally
Your YouTube.
like wardrobe goal, yeah, on YouTube of trying to buy a total of 6 clothing items, no more, or no more than 12 clothing items for the entire year, which
Yeah,
like really, really should be doable, but
it's
is
hard.
not how I've been buying clothes, and I think it's not how most people have been buying clothes. The average American buys an average of 68 clothing items per year.
So
In
crazy.
1980, it was an average of 12. That's where I got the number of 12. I don't know why I
Okay,
like the
I
80s.
was wondering where that came from. No, see, I
It
mean,
seemed reasonable.
it's
But my
crazy.
takeaway is that I found my outfits have gotten so much more creative
Mm,
because I think the easiest solution is just get something new. I can't think of an outfit, I can't think of a combo, so just get something new as opposed to like doing the problem solving and the creative arranging. Like my outfits just day to day have gotten so much more creative, and I've genuinely had so much more fun with it.
that's
Genuinely.
so great.
It's been
I to
it's like nice feedback. It hasn't been.
I feel like I often remind myself to shop my closet. Like that's just my little mantra reminder to myself when I have the urge to buy something, but I'm like, I don't really need that thing, and I know I don't really
Yeah.
need that thing. I'll
Yeah.
just think about like, okay, shop my closet. Let's see how I could recreate that type of look that I have in mind that I really am tempted to just buy off the shelf exactly as is with stuff in my closet. And like usually I can because I have years of overbuying clothes behind me. So I have like the makings of
You've got
almost
the
anything
inventory.
anyway. Yeah. So I really do try to like shop it. It actually reminds me of I often think about, oh my gosh, did you watch that show What Not to Wear with Stacey and Clinton?
Yes. Yes. It was
Ugh.
great. That was a really
I
good
learned
reality
everything
TV
from that
show.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I learned that much, but I just remember that was like they are kind of legendary.
They're iconic.
They just did that fucking show and people still know Stacey London and stuff.
Oh yeah, I missed that show. Like, I actually have tried to go back and watch it. I think you can just find episodes on YouTube, but the quality is so abysmal that because it's from like the early 2000s or something that it's
Yeah.
not, I'm not able to watch it. But I do think about that show sometimes, or, oh wait, I'm mixing it up. I loved that show, but the show I'm actually thinking about, I wish I could remember the name. It was a show with this blonde lady. Was it Elizabeth Hasselbeck? I think it might have been. She was like later on The View. Anyway, I think she's a controversial figure. But she was on this show where she would recreate an outfit from a runway model, like a runway
Oh.
outfit with, oh, it's called The Look for Less, I think. And she
Cool.
would shop at like Nordstrom Rack and Loehmann's and TJ Maxx and like all of those kind of discount stores, Marshalls, whatever, and recreate these runway looks. That's the one that I think about both of them, but sometimes I really think about that one and I'm like, okay, if I saw a picture of some celebrity wearing some outfit that I really liked, and maybe the sweater that they were wearing was black with like some detail, but the look would look just as good with a different black sweater that didn't have that exact detail on it.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
Like, just create the outfit that way rather than
Yeah.
going and looking for the exact type of sweater and spending more money when I have 8 black sweaters in my closet already. It's stuff like that. It's like, oh, it
Yeah.
has a slight like puffiness to the sleeve. So maybe I need that instead. Or like, oh, like it has
Yeah.
a bell sleeve. I mean, I actually hate bell sleeves and we've talked about that. But like stuff like that I get hung up on. I'm like, the look won't be the same if I don't get the exact thing. And it's just not true. It's just not true.
Yeah. I think it makes you think more thoughtfully about like what you actually like about it too.
Mm,
Um,
that's true.
and I like those Instagram reels and stuff where people, yeah, just get really creative with their clothes. Like they're like, I'm gonna use this dress as a base, like it's a skirt, and then tuck a shirt in, and now it's a pants or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do that alone in my room when
I
no one's
those are really
watching.
hard
Yeah, they
on
are. I can't do it. I look stupid, but
yeah, I feel like they only work on that one person who made up that hack. Like I've never I mean, that's probably not true, but I think it's hard for different body types to like shape shift my clothes into being other things, but I really
mm.
want to. I
I
really
think a lot
want
of them
to.
are really unrealistic where they're like, I'm tying the long bell sleeves back on this tunic and I'm gonna turn it into a sleeveless dress. And I'm like, well, the sleeves are what? Just like bunched up behind your shoulder
Yeah, like
blades
I
now?
can see the
Like,
sleeves.
you need to turn around,
Turn
show us what
around.
it looks like from behind. I don't think it looks that good on them either. Like, we
So
haven't seen the
true.
back. I just watched one with a tunic and I was like, she starts and she holds up this like ugly dress and she's like, I'm gonna turn this ugly church dress into like a club dress. And she holds up this like sequined aqua tunic. I hate aqua. Fucking hate aqua.
Not a
And
good clothing color.
aqua's the color of moms on the beach. I don't
Whoa, yeah. The ones that are like way, 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 way too tan, and you're like, you haven't,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
there how they were always like the old ladies you saw every day at your neighborhood pool that's had like leather skin. You
Oh,
were like, you've
yeah.
never been inside. Like,
How are
are
you
you good?
alive?
They were wearing aqua swimsuits.
Yeah. Yeah, they really were. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what my point was. She just hid the sleeves, and I was like, "Where did you put them? Down your butt crack? Like, that can't be comfortable."
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think.
What else do you have to say? You said you had a list of things to
I
say.
have a list of things. Let's see.
I love seeing you.
Oh my gosh, I love seeing you
Let's just
too.
have a moment of gratitude of how fun it is to talk to you and cuddle up at night.
Cute.
Yeah.
I feel that way. We're gonna have another trip soon and we're gonna get to cuddle and be in the same
Pissed.
room and
Yeah.
listen to Beyonce. Oh, that brings me to my
Oh my
topic.
God, I have things to say about Beyonce.
Are you gonna make me mad or are you gonna be excited?
I actually decided I wouldn't say them because I thought it would make you sad.
Oh my,
Support for today's episode comes from Skims, and I never ever really liked wearing a boy short before. I thought it was a really cute look, but it always cut me in a weird way, or like kind of cut off my thigh or my leg in a weird way, or dug in and gave me like a thigh line under my jeans. I just like never really understood who a boy short worked for. But there's something about the Skims material. It's just a completely different underwear experience for me. I probably wear their Fits Everybody boy short more than anything else. It's the thing I always reach for. Every time I put it on, I feel like shapely and sleek and smooth, but I have coverage. It's staying in place. It's not one of those underwears I'm always like trying to pull back over my crotch because it's slipping to the side. It's a really cute look, very flattering. And also just like an underwear cut I never thought I would really like wearing before, but the Skims Fits Everybody collection is just really well designed to my sweet little booty and thighs. And I want to talk bras for a second because finding a good everyday bra, I don't know. I just completely gave up on it years ago. I only wore sports bras basically, and it wasn't worth it to me because everything was stiff or I had like underwire trauma trying to find a supportive bra. If you felt like this, you want to try the Fits Everybody t-shirt bra. It's my favorite look because it's just like a classic everyday silhouette. This is how a bra is supposed to feel. It's supportive, but it's soft. It makes my boobs look like just normal shapely boobs and not like small boobs that I put a bra on top of. You know what I mean? That's another big, like, small boob thing, I feel like. And they make bras in all sizes from XXS to 4X. And if you are looking for the perfect gift for your Valentine or for yourself, Skims just launched their best Valentine's shop. It's available in sizes for women, men, there's gifts for kids. Check out Skims Best Intimates and the Fits Everybody collection at skims.com/notforeveryone, all spelled out, and at Skims stores. That's skims.com/notforeveryone. And if you want to be sweet to us, when you place your order, let them know we sent you. Just select podcast in the survey and select Not For Everyone. Please DM me if you try the boy short. Mwah. I thought about it for probably an hour like yesterday.
You're
and
joking.
I was like, oh, I'm not kidding. I had things to say about Beyonce that I probably would say if it was a solo podcast, but I was like, okay, well, it could be interesting to talk about with Jess because we'll have different perspectives. But then ultimately, I thought it would just not feel nice to you.
What do you have to say?
You say your Beyonce thing first.
I just wanted to talk about her generally and how I love her. No, I'll tell you what I actually wanted to say. So we often quote, okay, a little bit of context if anybody's new here. Caroline and I went on a trip to LA.
Who is Beyonce? Beyonce is a beautiful woman who sings music.
That's true. She is that and so much more. We went on a trip to LA. It was around the time that Beyonce's Cowboy Carter came out. So almost a year ago. And I showed Caroline this one song called Sweet Honey Buckin'. And there's a whole part in the song where she's like, look at that horse, look at that horse, look at that horse.
And specifically, Jess was like, Caroline, listen to the way she says horse. And you can't imagine how good it is until you hear it. Abby, put that clip here.
Oh, please put it in here.
Look at that horse, look at that horse.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so you guys heard that.
It is
true. It's amazing.
It is one of the most profound sections of music in modern times, I would say.
I was going to say it's one of the top 3 ways anyone's ever said horse.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's number one on that front, I would say. Please. So anyway, ever since then, we also, I'd like to say, we connected on me sharing Beyonce with you. So remember that before whatever you're about to say next about her. Okay. So ever since then, we have quoted "Look at that horse." Like it's just become kind of a mantra for us. And
yeah, it means
Beyonce
everything.
At the Grammys last weekend, when this episode comes out, it'll be couple weeks after, but she won Album of the Year for that same album, Cowboy Carter.
When was this?
And sorry?
Was that like yesterday?
Yeah, it was
or
on
whenever the
Sunday.
Grammys happened. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So she won for that album. It's the first time she's ever won Album of the Year. She is the most decorated artist with Grammys. She has like 35 Grammys over the course of her
The most of all
career.
time?
The most of all time. But none of them are Album of the Year until this one this year, finally. So that's a really big deal. And in the song, Sweet Honey Buckin', that has Look at That Horse in it, one of the lyrics is like AOTY, which stands for Album of the Year. AOTY. What's the lyric? It's like, hold on. I was really ready to go on that. Hold on. It's something about how she has never won Album of the Year. It's like AOTY. I ain't won something. Look at that horse. Like the lyric that goes right into Look at That Horse is her saying that she's never won Album of the Year. That's it. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about her win and talk about how I feel connected to it because Look at That Horse is part of the song with the album.
You made it happen.
I made it happen. I also would like to say that multiple people, and this is like, I actually wish I was kidding because it's insane, but multiple people texted me when she won and was like,
to congratulate you.
They were just like, your girl. And I'm like, Beyonce, like, this is Beyonce. It's not like some niche artist that I found. It's one thing like Nikki Glaser is getting a lot more play recently, and she's been my favorite comedian for a long time. I would accept that as like your girl. But Beyonce is Beyonce, everyone. She has the most Grammys. She's not, I don't own her.
Be real. You do agree. You do agree. You're like,
but I was really tickled. I was really tickled. So what do you have to say?
Okay, well, I feel pretty bad
Your
now.
turn.
I feel pretty bad. Let me first say, that I wasn't even going to bring this up, but then you said Beyonce,
Yeah,
and
I know.
I don't have any self-control.
That's fine. And I won't accept, once somebody's brought up like, oh, I had something to say, but I'm not gonna say it. I don't fuck with that. You gotta say it. You gotta say it.
Can I tell you guys something? Just I'm going to tell you something too.
Yeah, is it
Wait,
me or is
wait.
it who are you talking to?
Okay, I'm going to tell you something. When we were on our LA trip, I don't know if you remember this, or I don't know if you were even aware of this, but we were on our LA trip and we were spending a lot of time together and we had a lot of downtime like in our hotel together. And honestly, we had the best time. We traveled so well together. It was our first time we traveled so well. We're doing it again this year. We had an amazing time. And also, there were these periods where I was feeling anxious and I felt like I needed to like I don't know, get you to like me more. And so the way I did that was that I started asking just
Asking
questions
about
about
Beyonce.
Beyonce. I
Yeah.
started asking just questions about Beyonce because I enjoy Beyonce. Um, I enjoy Beyonce, but I don't like know everything about her. And so
Right.
I just started asking Jess questions. And I will say one of my favorite things on earth is listening to people talk about a subject they're really knowledgeable in, really passionate about, or like doing the thing they're really good at. Like I
Yeah.
love, love, love watching people in their flow, in their passion. I fucking love it. It's fascinating to me. And it's just like, it's really fun and special. And so I genuinely love hearing like honestly, it could have been the same for like fucking He-Man. He-Man was like this weird like action figure in the 80s. Like if you were obsessed with He-Man, I would want to hear like
Okay.
what makes you connect, what resonates so much. Like what I don't know. I'm not comparing Beyonce to He-Man, but I just mean like it's not
We were
about
off to a good
Beyonce.
start and now I'm
It's like
confused.
it's not about Beyonce. It's about you loving the thing you love. And I want to
Totally.
understand what does it for you. Because if you can ask the right questions and dig deep enough, you can at least like sympathize with this. It's like, I don't know, this like human connection. Like, what the fuck does it speak to in you? I love that. And so I was
Okay.
asking, like, okay, so what's the thing about this? And what's the thing about her? And what's the background with this here? And then I was trying to like participate more. And I was like, I think the thing that keeps me from being a super Beyonce fan or like listening to her music more than I do is a really pathetic reality about me. And it is pathetic, I think, and very basic, but like I feel like a lot of her recent albums, they don't have like strong repeated melodies.
Oh, right. We
They're
talked
like
about that.
more like complicated than that. Like, and that's not a bad thing. Like fucking Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't have a repeated melody. Like it's debatably one of the greatest songs of all time. But I'm just a basic stupid whore who loves a chorus and loves a repeated melody. And that's the catchy shit I listen to, like stupid girl jams. And Beyonce has like kind of strayed from that a bit with her music.
Totally.
And like I listen to whatever, pop and like basic pop and shit like that, catchy shit. And hers is like strayed from that. And I started like trying to explain to you in my head, I was trying to explain why her music like didn't stick with me as much, which I'm not saying is like the correct opinion. I just thought it was an observation about me. And I could feel you getting very
No.
upset.
No.
And at some point, like getting kind of defensive when I
Of
was just
Beyonce.
of saying that there was something about Beyonce I didn't connect with, and you started shutting down.
No, I'm sorry,
And I
but I
was like, no,
believe
no,
it.
no, you didn't do anything wrong. It's not like you were being like you weren't doing anything wrong. It was just like it completely backfired my attempt to like
Because
connect
it
with
was
you.
like your attempt to connect. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was trying to connect and also defend like my basic reasons for like not connecting to Beyonce more, and then I could see you just shrink into your shell and you shut down.
I think I was probably like in such a vibe of talking her up and just being in my obsession. So then to hear anything outside of it was like I wasn't prepared for it. But
You
I mean,
did
I
not
do
like it.
agree
You
with
did
the
not like it.
observation. I
You did,
totally agree with the
yeah,
observation. It is
yeah.
accurate. Is that what you were wanting to say, or there's more?
No, no, what I wanted to say is worse.
Just keep going. I'm fine.
Okay,
She
okay,
just won
so
album of the year, so I do have like the critics behind me, you know?
Okay. So I have to preface this. This is an implied preface for everything I say in the podcast, but I'm gonna verbalize the unsaid things right now, which
Okay.
is that I don't know anything. I don't know anything about anything. But I did catch wind of some of this trend that's going around called "Thank You, Beyonce."
Oh, I don't
Have you
know it.
have you caught wind of this? So there's
No, but
these
I'm
like,
on board probably.
no, you're not. You're gonna hate me. So
What
there
is
is
it?
this fairly compelling narrative, like conspiracy narrative going around on the interweb where people have started noticing like how often people who win, like women who win a Grammy against Beyonce, like Beyonce was nominated in a category, but Beyonce doesn't win, how often the winners of the Grammy, they thank their producers and they thank their
They thank
manager and they think
Beyonce.
blah blah, and then they thank Beyonce. And I and like people have started, it's like it's a whole like this look up conspiracy theory, thank you Beyonce.
Okay.
And I find it to be,
It
I
is
want to
crazy.
say objectively, really weird. And the conspiracy part of it is like, oh, she is basically like runs like the mafia of like, version of like the music business, and like
Yeah,
people are
the
afraid of her, and
Illuminati.
like, yeah, kind of, or just like the people are afraid of her and Jay-Z, and they've just like learned, whether directly or indirectly, that they basically need to like, if they steal an award from her, they need to kowtow to her, or otherwise she can like fuck with their careers, or it's just not good for their careers, and this like thank you Beyonce thing. And I don't know about that part. All I actually think is that I do think it's really weird that
Yeah.
so many people thank her in their speeches and no one fucking else. Can you imagine? Like, there's plenty of times. Think about the Oscars, and all these things are fucking stupid in my opinion. But like at the Oscars, they definitely have those things where someone goes up and wins an award and they thank all their other nominees. Never fucking once do you see somebody get up there and just call out one person. That's weird. That's so much weirder than
Yeah.
thanking none of your other nominees. And the fact that it happens over and over, like, I do think objectively, whether Beyonce has anything to do with this or not, I do think it's
Right.
very, very strange.
I agree. I actually, okay, so I have not heard of this trend. Um, I can think of a couple times that definitely like what you're saying applies. Like there was a time I think that Adele won and
Yeah.
she was up against Beyonce and she thanked Beyonce. I took it as like Beyonce has been around for a really long time in the music industry and has been pretty consistently prolific, whether you like her music or not. Like, it's not really debatable that she's been a huge star for a really long time. And so
Yeah,
I
but
took
how
it
many
as
other
like,
people can you also
oh,
say that
okay.
for?
Well, yeah, I took it as when it was just Adele that did it. I was like, okay, that's cool. Like maybe that's just really
Yeah, yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
an artist that means a lot to her. That's fine.
Maybe
But
she
if
had
it's
a huge
become
mentoring relationship.
right,
Yeah.
if it's become like bigger than that, then that is strange. But I don't know other examples. I will say there was a moment at this most recent Grammys on Sunday where Miley Cyrus was presenting an award. I don't
This is
remember
the
what the award
craziest to
was
me.
for.
This is the
Yeah.
craziest one.
But I feel like that's
And
just
yes,
her being dumb. I didn't read into it. I felt like it was really
I thought,
weird,
I
but
know,
I
but there's
didn't.
like five others where it's basically, so she was presenting an award, and before she read who the winner was, she was
Yeah,
like, Beyonce, if it's not you, I might say that it was, which is like obviously just like an awkward thing to say. But
right.
like, why is everyone going out of their way to be honestly incredibly rude to the other nominees?
That is
That's
so
like,
rude.
can you imagine being one of the other fucking nominees? Like, it's incredibly rude. It's very much ingratiating yourself to one person, but like really shitting on the others.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't
No,
your
that was
awards
really
ceremony.
weird.
What the fuck? I
But
think
I
it's so
totally
weird.
I agree with exactly what you're saying and I also just kind of felt like that like okay, I think it's probably something in the middle, I guess. I mean, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel
Yeah, we
like
don't know anything.
my hypothesis is that it's something in the middle where like Beyonce does have like an
An
air
empire.
of An empire. Yes,
She
that
is
is
an
the right
empire.
word for it. And she does have, whether spoken directly or just like it's the vibe, she does have like power in that industry and influence in that industry. And she is seen as like
Sure.
prolific in that industry. Of course, a lot of it I believe to be earned, but at the same time, for it to be like this weird kowtowing relationship, I feel like that's other people being fucking weirdos and wanting to kiss up. It would be really
Yeah, I
surprising to
know.
me if this was like a whole conspiracy. I think it's
Yeah,
just there's a nature of Hollywood that's like people kissing up. And I feel like
I know.
Miley Cyrus and whoever else, like they're the weirdos for doing that. But it could be more. I don't know. It's not me trying to defend Beyonce. It's more just me being realistic of like,
Yeah,
what do we think is actually happening, people? Like,
yeah,
everybody just wants to be on her good side because she is an icon. And they would probably be on her good side either way because she doesn't give a fuck about these people. But like they, for some reason, think they need to appear, I don't know, as like, oh, we can't forget about you, Beyonce. I just don't think she would ever. She
yeah.
doesn't need that. She already has everything that she has. She doesn't need
She didn't have album of the
that.
year. She
Well,
didn't have
true.
everything she wanted. She does not. I think there's still a lot
True.
more she wants.
A
I think
hundred
that's a great
percent.
point. I think it's a very good point. All of Hollywood and the entertainment industry, it's like the grossest thing. I never even got anywhere
Yeah.
near. Never even got anywhere remotely near that level. And even the level of the entertainment industry I was in, it was like disgusting. It was really crazy. Even in theater school, we were still just students studying acting, and it was so off-putting and so alienating and so pervasive, the ass kissing of like who people decided was like the most important teacher, the most important mentor.
Mm,
Like it was like these people can't do anything for you, but like the ass kissing was insane. Who was the richest student in the acting class whose daddy could fund your film? Like it was really really crazy from the
gross.
get-go. It was horrific to be around, and I genuinely felt like I was like one of very few people who didn't want to participate in it. And then you
Yeah.
were kind of swept to the side. It was really crazy to be around. Um but so I can only imagine, of course. And I think everything you're saying is probably true. And I don't actually think like the conspiracy, I think the vibe it gives me is not like there's an explicit conspiracy
Yeah.
um or anything. I think it just gives me the vibe. I think the one adjustment, the difference I feel is like who's like the biggest icon in acting. It's probably Meryl Streep, male or female. Like it's basically Meryl Streep for this generation or for multiple generations. And they still don't single her out in that way. There's
I
obviously
feel
plenty of
like
ass
they
kissing.
do.
They do in jokes and stuff, but not like against like and wouldn't say something to other nominees.
Right.
The thank you Beyonce thing to me gives like the thanking Harvey, thank you Harvey Weinstein thing, where it's like
Oh,
everyone was doing that too. To me, it feels different. Like they don't single out Meryl. It's not a perfect analogy either. There's plenty of holes in
yeah.
this, but it just feels it to me. It it. I think there's okay. So Beyonce is a powerful person. Objectively, it's a fact. No one will debate that. Being a powerful person isn't inherently bad. I think to me, it's just like the way people kowtow to you often makes me think about like how are you wielding your power, whether it's a full-blown
Right. Right.
conspiracy or not, which obviously all of this is just me talking out of my ass and doesn't mean anything. But I think my sad confession is that I do wonder how she wields her power that
Yeah.
this is. It just is so weird to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like bringing up Meryl Streep is an interesting comparison because I
I don't
can
know if it's a perfect comparison,
no,
yeah.
and it doesn't need to be, and that's okay. But like, I do feel like I can. Maybe I'm making it up now. Like, I don't. I'm not an award show junkie, so I don't really fucking know. But it feels very plausible and like something I've seen. Somebody going up to accept an award and being like, to be nominated in the same category as Meryl Streep, like, I can't believe this. You know, Meryl, you've been an inspiration to me, which is like often the same vibe that these thank you Beyoncés like are set in, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I feel like they
to
just
me
name them
that
all
seems
though.
like
Do you feel like they
regular
just name them all?
regular enough, I guess, but at the same time it's like there is a known hierarchy is the wrong word, but there's usually an if Meryl Streep's in a category, it's Meryl Streep. There's a reason you thought
Yeah.
of her as the queen on the acting side, you know?
Yeah.
If Beyonce's in a
Yeah.
category, it's Beyonce. Like, yeah, Billie Eilish is iconic. Yeah, um, Charlie XCX is iconic, but they're kind of newer. Beyonce's established, Meryl Streep's established. So I
Yeah.
think to me that's just the way I've always read it. Like I feel like I have seen it happen in other
I think you're right.
parts of the industry
Yeah, I
with
think you're
those
right.
types of like really established like yeah, if that's that person does stand out in the category. It also made me think though on the flip side like okay, what's another huge musical artist who is established on a similar level as Beyonce? Taylor Swift. And she gets a really weird treatment in the industry, I feel, of like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
She doesn't
like
get that.
she doesn't get that. Um, but she gets something else. It's like rather than like being revered in the way that Beyonce is revered, she's like, I feel like people are jealous of her or like
It's very
annoyed
fair weather.
about the coverage that she get. Like, why is she such a big deal? Or like, can we
Yeah.
stop talking about Taylor Swift? Like, I think both are too much, you know? Both are too
Totally.
much. And I see both of those people as like sitting right next to each other at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
So it is definitely notable like that there's a difference, but I can't quite figure it out.
Well, I think to your perspective, something I was thinking of, I could see like if it's known that Beyonce is this titan, she is this huge legend, and also that she hasn't won Album of the Year, and obviously she's made that known. It has been, first of all, to win these awards, you
Her
have to do
husband did. It's actually a thing. This is actually like a moment
what?
in time that's worth
Yeah, yeah.
stating. So
And
last year at the Grammys,
okay, okay,
she won some award and it made her it was Song of the Year or something, and it officially made her the person with the most Grammys
okay,
ever. And Jay-Z, her husband, gave the award, like announced her as the winner of the award. It was kind of like an orchestrated thing, or they were recognizing her in some way at the Grammys.
mm-hmm.
So he presented her with this, and he made a comment that it appeared was not approved by Beyonce.
Oh,
Their daughter was standing next to him on stage and she looked embarrassed by him making the comment. But he made the comment of, like, she has the most Grammys of anyone of all time, but she still never got an album of the year. He said that like live on air at the Grammys last
mm,
year. And it was like a kind of awkward, weird moment. So, if anything, I guess where I'm going with that is like, I think Jay-Z might be kind of like a person who wields his power in weird ways. There's other
there's other stuff. Yeah, it seems
rumors
like
and
it.
documented incidents
But
and
they're
whatever
business,
that
but
lend to
they're
that.
but they're husband and wife and they're business
Yes.
partners.
Yes.
They
So
are they
she's
are
not
neck and neck
separate.
business partners.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if I wanted to make
But
that
she has an
statement,
image
I'd have my
that she
husband
wants to
say it instead
maintain.
of me. I'd
Right.
have my husband say it. She put it in her own song. Like it's not like she
Yeah.
hasn't made this known. And to win any of these award shows, I don't know if people know this, but like you have to do an insane amount of campaigning. The way
Yes.
that
It's like
any politician
political.
campaigns, it's incredibly political. Um,
I've heard
it's
that.
I'm seeing just a tiny, tiny iota of it because I have a small, small role in this film that
Oh,
my best
yeah.
friend Tessa, I haven't even talked about it on the podcast, that my best friend Tessa wrote, directed, produced with her boyfriend. And they gave me like a scene in the film. And this fucking film got into South by Southwest, which is it's like this huge honor and privilege. This is not me bragging about me. I have nothing to do with it. It's my best friend. I love her, and I'll share more information about the film. And so I've been hearing from her all expectations around like what it takes to win one of the awards at a film
Wow.
festival. And this is South by Southwest. It's not Sundance and it's not the Academy Awards and it's not the Grammys. And like they're expected to have like hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on marketing and publicity and sales managers, which they don't have.
Yeah.
And that's for like kind of a tiny nothing film. Plus, let alone the amount of like money, publicity, marketing that goes into you literally campaign, you hire an entire team to get you to win an Oscar, which
Right.
is why when Jennifer Lawrence or somebody goes up, they say thank you, Harvey, because Harvey Weinstein was the person who would help them campaign.
Right.
And it's the same with the Grammys. Like you have to campaign for this shit. So Beyonce, whether she wanted Jay-Z to say that comment or not, Jay-Z and Beyonce and their entire team of employees
Of
worked like
course.
it's like several people's salaries to campaign for that Grammy, as did everybody else who was nominated for a Grammy. It's not unique to
Yeah.
Beyonce, but
Yeah.
it's like to have it so publicly clear that she wanted it and to
Right.
be this person that everyone revered. Like if I won a Grammy too, I also would be like, sorry, Beyonce. So like maybe that is, I say all that to mean like maybe it is more
There's
um
something there.
younger people just naturally feeling like, oh, I know she wanted this and I know she's been in it for a while and there's obviously a
Right.
campaign for it. And if I walk away with it, I'm gonna feel weird.
Right.
Maybe that's
It
all it
is
is.
weird, the like, just more broadly with award shows and the campaigning of it all. Um, I've heard about this a lot because I listened to Nikki Glazer's podcast and she hosted the Golden Globes this year and she also like was nominated for a Golden Globe and for a Grammy for her recent comedy special. And she's up against these other comedians and like for the Grammy in specific, she was up against Dave Chappelle, who is, the Beyonce of comedy, I would say.
That's a great way of
Like
putting it.
he is the Meryl Streep. He is that level.
Yeah.
And he has won. Nikki said on her podcast, Dave Chappelle has won every time that he's been nominated in this category in the last 5 years. And whatever, it was like expected that he was going to win it again because of that. And he did win it again. And it almost like, it just makes all of these things. I don't put a lot of value on these things anyway. And
Yeah.
then it just makes it have even less value in my mind because I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a narrative. Like the fact that it is talked about and known that Dave Chappelle always wins this category and that he
Yeah.
would be going for a three-peat and whatever, like then it gets skewed to make it happen because that's a story for the media. It's a
Totally.
story for the
Yes.
media that Beyonce has never won album of the year but is the most decorated Grammy winner and had it in her song. I told the story.
Yeah,
I thought it
of
was a
course
cool
it's a
story,
story. They
you
want they
know?
want it. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it just all of these moments are so fabricated and manufactured and like and this just gets to a bigger conversation of like what is real in the media, which I don't feel like talking
Nothing.
about.
No,
But
nothing's real. It's
you
all
know,
publicity and views and money. There's
money.
like basically nothing else to it. When actual artistry accidentally slips through the cracks to getting recognition, it's like a
Right.
miracle. It's a miracle, which is not to say that Beyonce isn't one of the most talented people who's walked the face of the earth, like
Right.
fucking ever. But there's just also like a lot of other really talented people, and it wouldn't make the TV stations as much money. It wouldn't make anyone as much money.
Right. I mean, there's this whole narrative, the Super Bowl's coming up. Oh, that will also be behind us when this episode comes out. But the Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. This is their
Who's in it?
third.
Am I in it, or is Washington
You're
D.C.
in
in
it.
it? Am I in
You're
it?
in. No, they're not. They were
Wasn't
close.
wasn't Washington almost going to be in it?
They
Okay,
were close, and they were the closest they've ever been in like
it's like
decades,
20, 30
honestly.
years or something. I
Yeah.
know. I thought I
So
was in
that's
it.
really cool.
Damn. Okay.
You're not in it, but you have a chance of being
Well,
in it.
thanks
I had a
for
chance of
ruining
being
the
in it.
Super Bowl for me.
Right. I had a chance of being
Spoiler
in it as a
alert.
Ravens fan, and we messed it up too. But it's the Eagles and the Chiefs who played each other in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So it's like we've already seen this. The Chiefs have won the last two Super Bowls, and they're going for a three-peat. And there's also the whole thing of how Travis Kelce, who's the tight end on the Chiefs, dates Taylor Swift. And that really upset football fans when she started showing up at games. I think that's
But
fucking
now it's
dumb.
making them money. It's making them all
But
so much
now it's making the
money.
money. Like, it can be both. Like, I agree with both. Like, on one hand, I'm like, let the girl go to a game. Why do you fucking care that the camera pans to her? Yeah, she's one of the most famous people in the world.
First of all, the
Get over it.
stadiums love it. The teams love it. She's made them so
Right.
much fucking money.
Exactly. And then on the flip side, I'm also like, yeah, obviously she's making them money. And are the Chiefs one of the best teams in my lifetime? Yes. Like, this Chiefs team led by Patrick Mahomes? Yes. Do they also bring in a lot of money for the NFL because Taylor Swift is in the stands? Yes. Is there potential collusion? Are the refs maybe a little bit easier on them? Maybe. I would believe it. I don't know. Like, you can't believe this stuff so literally ever, any of it ever, you know? So it makes me not care. I guess what I'm
Yeah,
saying is, like, the thing that you brought up about Beyonce may very well be true. And it also shows up everywhere in media and
totally.
entertainment, anywhere ever, which makes me no longer care because it's everywhere. So it's like not even a thing anymore because it's not
Mm.
unique. Does that make sense? Um,
Hmm.
it
I think
doesn't mean it's not a
yeah.
problem, but it's just like it's so much bigger than any one example to me. And I think I just kind of accept that, like, yeah, anything I watch with
Are you talking
awards
about
or
her
with
winning?
games or
Are you talking about her
whatever,
winning album of the year? Or are you talking
her
about people
winning,
thanking her? Because album of the
um,
year, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, whatever, it's all whatever. Like, she deserves it as much as like a bunch of people do. Like, she deserves it. Give it to her. I think with
sure.
the
I'm
thank
saying
you Beyonce
both.
thing, it depends. There are different levels of conspiracy.
Right. Yeah. I'm not big. I like, I don't know. I'm saying both. I'm saying, like, conspiracies like of that level are happening everywhere, and
What if she's
people
Harvey
buying
Weinstein?
people buying their wins is happening everywhere. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to
Yeah.
make of it because
Okay.
it all feels co- like yeah, I believe that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not arguing with the buying their wins. That's what the whole industry is, and it's like
Right.
it's why it's like some people don't know that like the best art, if you think of just like visual art that you would see in a museum, that I think a lot of people think the world's best art is the art you see in museums.
Oh
Because like
yeah.
if it got into a museum, it's there because it's the best. It's the same thing. It's
It's a good
extremely
comparison.
it
Yeah.
I mean it's the same. It's extremely based on money, on exposure, on connections, on networking. It's extremely political. Like it's as subjective as fucking acting and singing and all of it. And it's not I would say the art world is probably even more political than some of these
Mm.
other like mass more mainstream consumed art forms. But yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm just saying, what if Beyonce is Harvey Weinstein?
I can't go there in my
Okay.
heart and spirit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I can no longer have this conversation.
That makes
That's
sense.
where,
I
if you
respect
had
that.
led with that,
Yeah.
we would have gotten in a fight.
It
But
took
you
me
didn't
20
lead
minutes
with
to get
that.
there. I didn't
Yeah,
I discovered it along the way. I wasn't thinking that before, but
you
now
weren't
I'm
thinking that
wondering it.
before. That's
No,
reassuring.
that's not what I came here to say. It's
Yeah.
just what I ended up saying.
That's what you wanted. That's what you decided not to confront me with yesterday, and you were right to not
I
confront me
know.
with it.
How do
No, the
you
whole
think
but
How are
you
you
were fine
feeling
to
right now? I
say,
want to check in with you. How are
I'm
you
feeling
feeling right
fine.
now?
Listen, I actually, even though you had that one experience with me in LA where apparently I shut down about you not understanding the who Beyonce is, um,
What a summary.
I do tend to think that I'm the type of person that, like, is just like doesn't get overly protective of
False.
the things that I like.
That's not what
Is it not
happened.
true?
Just that one time.
No, yeah, yeah. I'm saying that one time might have been.
Oh yeah,
But in
yeah.
general,
In general, yeah. Well, coming for Beyonce is like coming for your mom's titties. It's like it
it's
couldn't
not,
be any closer to you.
it's really exactly that. It's like I
Yeah.
sucked the teat, it raised me,
Yeah,
And
that's your girl. That's your
here I
girl.
am. It's my girl.
When she wins a Grammy, people text you congratulations.
When they were campaigning for the Grammy, I was who they were campaigning with,
You were the
actually.
horse. You were the horse.
I'm the horse and I'm the Academy and I'm
Okay,
everything. Am I Harvey Weinstein? No. Bye.
maybe I am. Am I going to be experiencing any blowback in my career from you as a result of this conversation?
No, what are you saying? No.
I don't know. Like, are you going to block me from winning Album of the Year now?
If people comment in defense of Beyonce and me,
They will
I
support them.
am gonna like reward those people. I'm gonna trumpet. Sounds like a instrument, but I'm talking about our president. I'm gonna reward the people who agree with me. And that's the regime that we're running here. Did I just say
Okay.
that? I did. Let's move
Yeah.
on because now I'm getting
Okay.
too fired up.
Tell me something. Oh shit. Okay, tell me something else that's on your list that you wanted to say. Thank you for
Okay.
thank you for exploring this
It was interesting.
this realm with me.
I was happy to. Checking off the look at that horse bullet.
You may be able to tell from my voice that I'm a bit congested right now. I just got back from a trip where I was eating out a bunch, going out a bunch, and it just catches up to me when I'm not making meals at home and not prioritizing rest. That is where HelloFresh comes in. HelloFresh is a meal delivery kit with pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. It's easy, it's delicious, and it kind of saves my life in moments like this. Every time I'm making HelloFresh recipes, I just feel good about what I'm eating. I can see all of the ingredients going into the dish. I can feel good that they are whole, nutritious ingredients, and I get excited because they give you a picture of what it's going to look like at the end, and it really does look like a restaurant quality meal that if I were scrolling on a delivery app, I would be attracted to click on that and order it. Recently, I've been only selecting the 15-minute meal options to add to my HelloFresh, and that is a game changer. They're so fast to make, I can even make them in the middle of a busy workday. I also have started getting the ready-made meals sometimes. They have these like French bread pizzas and overnight oats cups and lots of options that are just like for lazy people like me. Honestly, I'll give myself some credit and call it for busy people like me, but there's an element of laziness. And for me personally, I would rather be the kind of lazy that has stuff prepped and ready to go in my fridge than the kind that orders takeout every day. Like that just makes me feel so bad about myself. So I'm forever indebted to HelloFresh for breaking that cycle for me. Get up to 10 free meals and a free high protein item for life at hellofresh.com/notforeveryone10fm. This is in the description if it's confusing. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's up to 10 free meals at HelloFresh. Just go to hellofresh.com/notforeveryone, fully spelled out, 10fm.
Well, I guess I just had a question because I know you're more up to date on this stuff than I am. I feel like there have been Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni updates since we talked about it.
I'm not even keeping up with it anymore.
Okay, fine.
Can I give a summary that I somehow like didn't I feel like I didn't successfully say in that entire episode when we talked about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And no, this podcast is not going to become pop culture.
We are doing a lot lately.
We were just doing a little bit recently. But my whole point was like, what is my point? My
Your
whole
point was
is that I just want females' subjective niceness or non-niceness to be left out of the fucking conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I would just want female likability. It's misogyny. It's misogyny. And me saying that judging Blake Lively and bringing her likability into legal conversations is misogyny, which it is, that touches in no way whether or not she's going to win this lawsuit, whether or not she should, whether or not she's in the wrong or in the right. I'm just saying it should be completely irrelevant. What? Irrelevant. And I'm fucking tired of seeing the likability or the annoyingness of women being used to cancel their careers or like being held up to the level of actual crimes. And like maybe she committed some crimes. Could be. I don't fucking know. None of us know what happened. That's why there's going to be a court case. Okay. I'm not trying to speak to that. It's fucking misogyny. And whether Justin Baldoni wins or loses or what, I don't actually, my point here doesn't change. Stop bringing women's likability or annoyingness into these conversations. It's just fucking misogyny. It rarely happens with men. We do cycles of this. We did this to Anne Hathaway for no good fucking reason. And then we decided we all felt bad about it. And then we brought it back. And when we were doing it to Anne Hathaway, the woman we upheld instead as the ideal was Jennifer Lawrence. She was the cool, relatable, accessible, likable, authentic one. And then we got tired of that too. And a couple of years later, we decided we were all annoyed at Jennifer Lawrence. Like, this is a cycle we do to women. And I'm not saying that female celebrities are living the hardest life of any women, but they are still women. And I think it's helpful to talk about celebrities because they're just common people that we can all reference. And like speaking about women this way in the media is bad for all of us. It is bad for everyone. It affects you and it affects me and it affects everyone listening to this podcast. And we need to stop doing it. It's misogynistic. And I see a lot of it perpetrated by women, which is why I'm yelling about it here, because I have the ear of some women and plenty of men do it too. But like, who are the people posting about this content? It's something a lot of us have internalized. I can be guilty of it myself at times, and I'm trying to do better at it. I have a platform here. It's important to me. I want to talk about it. It's misogyny. Stop bringing up whether or not they're likable. They may or may not be likable. They may or may not be annoying. You don't have to lie and say that some people don't annoy you. Like, there's going to be some people you like, some people you don't, but it is completely fucking irrelevant to like whether or not they're guilty of a crime or experience sexual harassment. Like, stop it.
Or deserve to have a career.
Yeah,
like,
stop it. Stop.
It's like you don't
you
have
guys
to
are annoying.
watch their movies if you don't
Everyone
like
talking
them.
about this is annoying. So now you guys don't get to have a career. Like, what are we saying here? This doesn't help anybody.
Right.
Ugh.
I think that that's the important thing to make sure is abundantly clear is like, you are allowed to not like someone or like them. You're allowed to find them annoying.
I'm doing
You're
it
allowed
all
to find
day.
them whatever. That part is not the problem. I think that people sometimes get confused and think that that's the part that anybody's taking issue with. No, you're going to have your opinion about people. That is fine. That's
human.
No one's stopping you. It's as soon as you apply that opinion of their likability to whether they're deserving of their career or they should be canceled, whether they truly were sexually harassed or not, whether they committed this crime or not, that is the part that happens too often. And I totally agree with you. It is women doing it to women about women. It's like, you're allowed to not like her. Cause I get like the fun of gossip and drama and being like, oh, she's annoying or oh, she's not funny or whatever. I get the temptation and the enjoyment of that to some degree. I watch reality TV. It's all I do when Ryan and I watch reality TV is look at the screen and say, she annoys me. I like her. I agree with her. I don't agree with her. I get it. But that does not have any bearing on,
it's a separate thing.
Yeah, their guilt or innocence in a case or whether they still get to have a career. It's actually probably because of their likability or lack of likability.
They're a whole person
that they got to that career.
Yeah,
you know,
you can be a little bit annoying. That's fucking okay. What do you think I'm doing out here? And like, I agree. I don't think celebrity discussion and commentary is all vapid. I think that's the area where a lot of people, like, we're in doing that commentary. I think what a lot of us are doing, me, you, and people who hate Blake Lively or whatever, that's the area where we try and define who we are. Often we're grappling with like public personas in order to either align ourselves with somebody or distance ourselves from this thing we don't want to be. You know, I think having a really strong aversion to a woman who's annoying or unlikable what it often comes down to is like, I don't want to be associated with that thing. I would
Right.
never be that thing. I really, really don't want to be perceived that way. So it's very understandable. And I think that's why it comes from women a lot of the time, because it's the way that we're evaluating Blake is the way we're evaluating ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that is put upon us. And so this isn't like a woman hating thing. I think this is a lot of women grappling with misogyny and trying to distance themselves from the things that will put them in harm's way, trying to make themselves feel safe because this is the way women are judged and it doesn't feel safe. And so when I see it elsewhere and I see it in a celebrity, I want to distance myself from that. I think that thing is gross. I think I would never do that thing. I'm going to let everybody know I think that's a bad thing and I would never do that thing and I don't want to be seen that way. So it's like it's perpetuating this thing that we're already all um like kind of victim to. And I think the solution is not waiting 10 more years till we decide we were too harsh to Blake Lively and then we repent and say
Mm-hmm.
you can come back. Like people are complicated. It seems like she could have done a lot of things wrong. I'm not the judge. I don't know. I'm not saying she's like an innocent, amazing person, but neither am fucking I. Like
Right.
it's possible to be complicated and like we just don't put male celebrities through these cycles. We just don't. Male celebrities, they get to stay. It's so
Yeah.
rare. Even unless they like actually commit a crime, like a big crime. And sometimes even then, they just get to
Yeah.
stay. And then we fucking took Anne Hathaway's career away because why? She was like a little bit too much of a tryhard and she like is kind of dorky. Like
Yeah, I never
literally
really
why?
understood why. Yeah.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
You're
That's a
hurting
really good
yourself.
example. It is true. Even my therapist once, we were having a conversation about like values and getting to understand better what your values are so that you can then like align to those in the way that you show up and the way that you respond to situations. And I wish I remembered the name of it, but she gave me a word for it, like the act of watching movies or TV shows or celebrities or whatever in order to inform your values. Like she suggested to me to watch a
Hmm.
movie and it's a movie again, I wish I could remember what the movie was. Obviously, I didn't watch it, but she suggested a movie that like had a complicated moral dilemma in it and was like, that is a movie that I watch over and over and it helps me like kind of sort through and process my own inner world and my own values because it forces me to like put myself in the person's shoes and figure out what would I do in that situation. And that's
Hmm.
something that we all do all the time when we consume content. That's why like relatability is such a thing now and like
Yeah.
relatability of creators that you enjoy because you're watching anything and looking for where do I see myself? Where do I not see myself? Where do I see my aspirations and the things that I want? Where do I not? And it's like it's the reason I like reality TV. Like that gets such a bad rap as being, this vapid, superficial thing. It's real people dating each other. Like what is more
Yeah.
honest than that? Obviously they're being filmed, there's an element of entertainment, but like it has been a way that Ryan and I have communicated about our values when it comes to dating and
Yeah.
communication. Like it really enables a lot of seeing yourself through, yeah, this portrayal in front of you.
Hmm.
So anyway, I think that's a really important thing for people to realize about how they view these situations because it's just the truth. And yeah, don't,
Yeah.
don't, I don't know. Don't.
It's not siloed. Your opinions aren't siloed with Blake Lively. These are opinions that you're bringing into your life. It's touching other relationships, and I think it damages a lot of women. I think it damages all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I also you mentioned relatability. Relatability is such a hilarious one because like relatability is
To
and
whom?
like and authenticity, these are like what the like most overwrought like hot words of the moment, but relatability and authenticity means that you can't be perfect. And by not perfect, I don't
Yes.
mean like showing us your acne. I mean, you really fuck up sometimes. You are rude sometimes. You are unlikable sometimes. You say the wrong thing. You don't speak perfectly. You're insulting sometimes. You're inconsiderate or selfish or like not your best sometimes. That's what relatability is. Because if you don't have those things, this relatable icon you're describing is a Jesus figure. Like, that's not what relatability is. Someone who has never done wrong, never had to apologize or learn from a mistake. Like, if people want relatability and authenticity, they need to start understanding that real relatability is people who need to apologize sometimes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what relatability is. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like someone who thrifts clothes and shows their acne.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's an impossible ask. We want people to be
Jennifer
relatable,
Lawrence
but we
was the
also want them to be
perfect,
saints.
right. Jennifer Lawrence was the perfect reference point there because her whole thing, like the thing that everybody liked about her is she's so relatable, which I find to be hilarious language because it's like relatable to who, like, okay, if you
Yeah.
relate to her, that doesn't mean that I relate to her, but
Yeah.
somehow she's just overarchingly relatable. Like
Hmm.
that is a weird label to give someone in and of itself. And then really the thing that people were finding relatable is like she's not she doesn't come across as like media trained
She
at
doesn't
on the red
try.
carpet. She's
Hmm.
just kind of quote being herself. She makes awkward jokes. Like she doesn't know quite how to like schmooze and pose and like do the things that celebrities typically know how to do. And I feel like as soon as she started to do those things because she had been in the industry and really like taken off and been to more of those events and gotten more exposure and just like figured out the way that it works out there, that is as soon as everybody was over her. And it's like, well, was she really
Hmm.
relatable to you at all? At the end of the day, she was still a celebrity on the red carpet. Like, why you related because she was tripping over her words or making a joke or she literally tripped over her dress one time? Like, that's just human stuff. And then she got a little bit tighter in how she showed up. And
I
then
don't
you
even know
didn't
if
like
she
her
got
anymore. You
tighter.
didn't know her.
I think even the irony gets like even more amazing. Whereas like I didn't even my perception was not even that people then spurned her for getting more polished, but when they saw, I don't even think it was that she got more polished, but actually that she continued seeming untrained and
Oh,
casual and
maybe.
when it went on for so long, then it looked like she was trying to
Ah,
be that thing. But the same thing.
yes.
I just think it's even funnier because like they then were annoyed that like she's always trying to be relatable. But the bottom line is the same, is that there's nothing uglier to us than watching a woman try. We
Try
all we want is to see no signs of trying, and you gotta try so hard in order to pull that shit
to
off.
not
Like
try.
we're all trying so fucking hard and it's so ugly to us. Yeah, there's nothing uglier than a woman trying.
Hmm.
And
Oh
then
my
and
gosh.
then and then people were like, "Oh, she's trying too hard to be this relatable, clumsy." Like she tripped a second time at some other award show and then she got like all this blowback for being like, "Oh, she's trying to do it again. She's trying to be clumsy
Why would
again." It's like
anybody
there's
do
no
that?
way to win. There's no way to win.
It is
Nah,
very, I think that's exactly the thing that happened and is happening with Taylor Swift too. Like her whole huge, huge,
totally.
huge fan base is obsessed with her because the true Swifties who love the music and listen to the lyrics and like I know a bunch of them, they see themselves in her and her lyrics and the like honesty there, the authenticity there, the awkwardness, the struggles, whatever, all the things we're talking about that make somebody feel relatable. But then she shows up on the red carpet or at the Grammys. Like a good example is at the Grammys, she stands up and dances
Oh.
to
I
all of
did
the
I did
different,
see memes about that.
yeah, to all of the
Yeah.
musicians that go up and perform. Taylor Swift is one of the only people in the audience of celebrities who's standing up and dancing and seeming to enjoy the show. You could look at that in two ways. You could look at that as, oh my gosh, that's so fun. She's just having fun. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. Or you could look at it as she wants you to think that she doesn't care what anybody thinks. She's trying to seem like she doesn't care. And that's why she's doing it. It's actually like premeditated. I don't really give a shit, But that is the thing that people obsess over is like, is Taylor
she
just doing that
trying?
because she's having fun and being herself and not really trying, in which case we love it? Or is she doing that because she wants to present as somebody who's not trying and who's being herself, in which case we hate it? At the end of the day, she's still doing the same thing. What do you think of that thing? Just like,
It all hinges on the trying.
yeah. It's exhausting.
Name
It
a
really
male
helps none of us.
name a male celebrity we've done this to.
Right.
Name a male celebrity we've done this to. And if you name someone who was canceled because of like illegal
Yeah.
activity or sexual harassment or saying
It's not the
something
same.
like, fucking discriminatory, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about just a dude who what reigned supreme in celebrity culture, reigned supreme, everyone loved him, and then we all decided without him doing anything harmful or illegal that he was annoying now and we killed him. I can't, there have to be some. I'm not saying there's zero, but I can't think of one.
Right. The people I'm thinking of, I'm not clear on what happened with them, but it's not the same thing, I don't think. Like
Who are you thinking of?
Justin Bieber is somebody that comes to mind as someone who like
He became a
he
punchline, but he never
yeah.
lost any of his status. He never lost
Oh,
like any of
totally.
his status.
He only got bigger.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
And like
maybe.
married a top supermodel and is like still,
Right.
making
Right.
tons of
It's like
music.
the
and
more he was
he's
downtrodden, the more people were like, "Oh my God, the Biebs is hurt. Let's make him bigger."
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
I mean,
know.
did he go to rehab or like jail?
Yeah,
Or
there
like
was
he was
he
actually
was like
having
in
like a
trouble
very
for a while.
troubled. He was having a
Mhm.
very troubled, difficult time. Not surprising. He was a child star. I'm sure he had a horrific
Right.
life. And that was very public and like poor kids sucks to have to go through a hard time in the limelight, I'm sure. And it still like didn't and then compare him to like Lindsay Lohan. Like Lindsay
Right.
Lohan like went through the same shit and we fucking ate her alive.
Mm-hmm.
Britney Spears, actual mental illness, ate her alive. Now we're sorry. Like, when are we going to learn the fucking lesson?
And it's really the trying thing that I cannot think of with a male celebrity. Like,
Yeah.
there's other stuff that goes on with celebrities
Yeah, the
that,
trying. We hate to see a woman trying.
but it's the trying. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm gonna be trying all day.
I know. I'm trying
I
so hard
stay
all the
trying.
time. I stay
Me
trying,
too.
stay trying. That's a
Stay
great
trying.
tagline. Stay trying,
My
y'all.
my therapist will catch me because there's something, I don't know, there's some framework of like things that add to your anxiety basically, and one of them is the word is striving. And
Oh,
so, which is basically trying.
yeah.
And
Trying really, really hard with your butthole so tight.
right, it's like whenever she's trying to get me to like center and be present, she'll catch me saying something that's very like striving, and she'll be like, "That's not being present. You're striving."
Ooh, weird. What a bitch. What the
I
fuck?
know. I'm like, yeah,
What a
yeah.
bitch.
Anyway, so more on that later because I can't really think of it, and I haven't
Okay.
been to therapy in a few weeks, and I'm
Yeah, I want
hungry.
the deep dive later. I'm hungry too. I'm gonna go eat a nut.
Oh, dirty. One nut
Okay,
or
y'all.
a few nuts?
A couple nuts probably. I
Couple
got these
nuts.
nuts. I got these nuts that I thought was one kind of nuts from Trader Joe's, but turns out they were different kind of nuts. They got different kind of salt and peppers on them. I don't really like them, but
Okay.
I gotta eat the whole bag till they're gone. So
Wow,
I'm working on that. I'm
that's a
trying. I'm
sustainable
striving.
queen.
I'm striving on that.
Striving. Go strive. Go
Thanks for
strive
joining
somewhere
us, you
else.
guys. This has been Strive Central. Keep trying. Ooh, we gotta defeat this shit, and we're gonna defeat it by changing,
Trying to defeat it.
by trying so fucking hard. Follow us on Instagram, not for everyone pod with the number 4. Send us a DM with a what to do. We need some fresh, hot, stinky what to do's.
Mm.
Send us a story about trying and how trying and the condemnation of trying is misogyny. Tell me how I'm wrong about Beyonce and what I said was offensive, and tell
Don't
us.
tell me how I'm wrong about Beyonce. I'm
No, no,
not
no.
open to
Everyone's
those
gonna agree with
DMs.
you, Jess. Everyone
No,
agrees with
they're
you.
not. There's so the fake
Everybody agrees
Beyonce
with
thing is a
you.
trend. No.
Yeah. but everyone agrees with you. I'm just gonna get in trouble for saying it, but this is the life this is my life. I can't control this mouth.
You can't try to make it different. Don't try. Whatever you do, don't try to make it different.
Yeah, everyone stop trying, keep trying.
And I won't
try
either.
the most. Okay, bye.
Bye.